Hello, it's me, Olivia. I'm back with another video. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. I put up videos when I can. And yeah, so I've been just thinking a lot about, my journey in college and like what this year has definitely taught me. And I've learned the most valuable lesson that I have learned, and this is going to probably be an extension of the video that I posted probably a few weeks or days ago, which is entitled, I guess, or I don't know what it's entitled, but basically, be careful with who you call friend. And honestly, that's probably the best advice that I have ever given myself. And also, take care of yourself, don't worry about anybody else. Take care of yourself. So I'm the type of person who loves to, well, not loves, but I don't have an issue or a problem with giving 100% of myself, you know, to someone whom I consider a friend. And I take my friendships very seriously. One, because I come from a very small family, and two, because I'm an extrovert and I like people. Damn it. And I like friends and I like to have not just people around me, but I like to have just, collaborations with people and relationships with other people that means something. And I've just learned, and I'm learning to be more intentional with who I call my friend. Because not everybody's my friend. And I'm learning to become more intentional and more cautious with who I decide to confide in. Definitely being conscious and more conscientious and careful about who you confide in is a big part of building relationships with people. One, because you're building trust, and two, because people will set you up to fail. And a lot of times people are haters, people want to see you fail, people don't like it when, you're doing better than they are. People don't like it when, or people like to see you weak, so they want to, give you faux advice and sabotage you with that fake advice. So just be careful. And what do I mean by fake advice? Advice that isn't necessarily needed, and it's not necessarily helpful, and it's advice that's condescending, cynical, and it puts you down. Now, there's a difference between being, honest with someone, and then there's just being a hater, just somebody that just doesn't, you know, it just doesn't isn't helpful. It's not uplifting. Um, Signs of a person that gives you hateration advice. You know, they tell you, you should do this. You're not this. Um, it's negative. It's not helpful. It doesn't necessarily help you. And 9 times out of 10, you're ending up alone or just like without. So just be careful with that, you know? And also, when it comes to being careful with who you confide in, you don't need to tell everybody your business, honestly, because they don't care. A lot of times they don't care. They're not concerned. They're just curious. What do I mean by not concerned and just being curious? They just want to know what's going on with you. They're not wanting to help you. They're not wanting to, advance you in any way, shape, or form. They just want, just to know what's going on. They don't care. Probably they're going to go tell their friend around the way about you and just bash you. So I've learned that you should just be careful with who you confide in, with who you tell your business to, and just be careful with who you call friend. Not everybody's my friend. I've learned that. Just because, we had lunch a couple of times and we hung out a couple of times doesn't automatically mean that we're boom, new best friends or good friends. I only have a handful of friends, honestly. And I only have, you know, a few people that I can truly say that I can count on. And I've had one consistent friend, and that's my best friend. Like one, we've been friends since sophomore year, consistently since sophomore year of high school. And I love her. We've been close, we've gotten into arguments. You should also listen to people We've gotten in arguments and all that other stuff. I don't know why I digressed. Anyways, you should also listen when people talk. There are a lot of times they're telling you what they value and just like what they look for, or not what they look for, but basically who they are. And when you listen to people like that, you should just be careful, you know? Just listen to them, pay attention to what they're saying. Are they forgiving? You don't want a friend that holds grudges, and you don't want somebody in your life that's going to stress you out. I get stressed out when it comes to people, being upset with me, or like with drama in general. I get really stressed out. Why? Because I'm an extrovert and I tend to care. I don't care about what other people think, but I don't like it when things aren't settled and when things are just not, where they should be. I don't like that. So it stresses me out. And I don't like having people that are immature in my life that don't know how to communicate. So also, when you're picking your friends and when you're choosing the people that you have in your life, make sure that they are communicators. Make sure that they're not childish, and make sure that their mind is sound enough to make rational decisions. If a person's irrational, or if a person in any way, shape, or form is just not all there, run away from them and leave. By no means are you or should you be desperate for people to be in your life, honestly. In college, people are going to come and go. Like the friends that I'm friends with right now, I don't know if we're going to be friends next year. I don't know if we're going to be friends 5 years from now. Hell, I don't know if we'll be friends next week. And I won't be surprised. And it's nothing, no shade will be, no, there's no shade being thrown at anybody. I'm just saying in general, nobody's promised to anybody. And by the end of graduation, when you graduate from high school or when you graduate from college, the people that you were there with in the beginning are not going to be there with you in the end. It may sound nice to make all of these plans, but I've learned to not make plans anymore because nothing's promised. And I've just learned to be more conscientious of who I let into my circle and who I let into my life. And I'm more intentional with who I, let, who I give my gifts and my blessings to, and who I choose to call friend and who I choose to talk, because I'm a good friend. I'm a damn good friend. And I know that I'm a good friend. And lately, I've been, in the past, I've been friends with people that don't give 100%. They barely give 20, and that's not a good thing. Parasitic relationships, friendships, family relationships aren't good and they're not healthy. And a parasitic relationship is when you're giving all you can and the person's just taking. You're friends with the taker. And I know somebody like that. They want to have friends, they want to have good friends, they want to be best friends with someone, and they want people that'll be close to them, and they wonder why people don't necessarily flock to them. Well, what do you have to offer? You don't have anything to offer, really, because you're so used to taking, and you don't know how to be a good friend. You don't know how to console. You don't know how to give advice. You don't necessarily know. You're not all there. And I've had friends like that, and I know someone like that. They want the world, but they're not willing to contribute. And it's not necessarily what people can do for you, it's what you can do for them. And I think if we all learn to think that way, we'd all have better relationships, we'd all have better friendships, and our lives wouldn't be, as messed up. A lot of times people just think about themselves, and it's like, well, she's. It's not all about you. But at the same time, you need to learn to make some things about you and taking care of yourself. Take care of you. Don't take care of anybody else, and don't expect for anybody to take care of you because they're not going to. Again, be careful with who you confide in. Be careful with who you choose to tell people stuff to, because again, they don't care. They don't want to listen to you. They think that you're childish for even bringing up the thought or even having issues. They try to just make you feel like the utmost scum. Just be careful. Just be careful with who you confide in and with whom you choose to be friends with. Again, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. I put videos out every week. And yeah, enjoy this beautiful spring day. Bye.